Regulation and supply chain issues are some of the topics on the agenda of companies operating in the International Underwriting Association's markets. I'm Yvette Essen for CyberCube, and I'm joined by Helen Dalziel, the Secretary to the IUA's Cyber Committees. Helen, can you tell me what are some of the main concerns of your members?
Some of the main concerns at the moment are regulation, cyber warfare and supply chain risk.
Tell me a little bit about your members, first of all. How are they involved in the market? How big is the market?
Okay, so our members are 60 insurers and reinsurers in the market, and they write premium income of £28 billion.
Let's talk about some of those concerns they've got there. Now, obviously, regulation is a great concern, not just in the UK, but also Europe and more broadly internationally. What are the real issues that they're talking about?
So at the moment, our Prudential Regulatory Authority, the supervisor in the UK, is focusing on underwriting cyber risk for all regulated firms, and they are expecting all firms by now to have plans in place that address how they write cyber risk, and that includes any silent or non-affirmative exposure they have across their portfolios.
You also talked about supply chain. What's the worry about that?
So certainly our cyber underwriters look at the risks that they're insuring, and I think certainly now one of their big concerns is supply chain risk. The increasing reliance on supply chain for businesses is greatly increasing that exposure.
And warfare, you've been quite vocal actually on this topic in terms of the IUA and cyber warfare exclusions. What's the topic there? What's the issue?
So I think it's understood that cyber warfare is very difficult to attribute who's perpetrated the attack. So officially declaring a cyber war, there's certainly less political appetite for that. So when you look at war exclusions, how cyber fits into that is very, very uncertain. And there are a couple of cases that people are watching closely, and certainly our cyber underwriters are concerned about how that fits into their policies.
Can we talk a little bit more about the IUA? So you've got a number of committees. It's 3 committees, is that correct?
For cyber, yes, 3 committees. And we have a committee for the reinsurers, a committee for the underwriters, the insurers, but also a committee that's looking at legal developments and claims.
But cyber does filter more broadly than just across these 3 sectors, is that correct?
Absolutely. All of our class of business committees are looking at cyber at the moment because they all believe that there is maybe some exposure to cyber across classes. So all committees are currently looking at this right now.
In addition to your committees, you're quite active in the cyber market. So I understood you recently had your Developing Tech seminar where cyber did indeed feature.
Yes, so our Developing Technology group looks at emerging risks and how the insurance market fits with those emerging risks. Things like drones, autonomous vessels, autonomous vehicles and AI. And our keynote speaker was Trevor Maynard, so it was a very, very good conference.
Now, Trevor Maynard is, of course, of Lloyd's and heads up the innovation team there. Do you know what he was talking about? What were the key themes that he brought out?
I think the themes that they were looking at was how this developing technology fits in. Does insurance need to change to be able to respond to these emerging technologies? It's a very, very interesting subject, and it crosses all classes of business. So it's something that our members look very closely at.
Helen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
CyberCube did attend the IUA's conference and featured a blog on Trevor Maynard's keynote speech that can be found on CyberCube's website. For CyberCube, I'm Yvette Essen.